Oh man, I hate Mondays.
Nah, man, it's Tuesday.
Wait. What day is it?
You know what day it is? Tuesday. Tuesday.
Oh, fuck yeah! Grab a cold one. It's Brews Day Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar and Six Pack Store. Here's DreZ and Big Nate.
That sound does indeed solidify it. It is Brews Day Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar Restaurant and Six Pack Store right there in downtown Blacksburg. Did you what happened over there? Do you need the paper towels?
I got very close, but we are good.
All right, awesome. So as we've been teasing, we're actually a day early, but tomorrow is National IPA Day. And even though it falls on a Wednesday, we're not going to hold that against it. It was a reason enough to celebrate with some awesome IPAs. And in fact, I'm even going to focus on one specific brewery because all of these IPAs happen to come from there. And that's where I got them. Flying Monkeys Craft Brewery. These are out of Ontario. They've came a long way. If you're watching on the Facebook Live, you'll notice a theme with these cans. All of the Flying Monkeys cans are just ridiculous. I mean, just so colorful. And I feel like I could stare at this for like 20, for the entire length it would take me to drink this 16 ounce of, obviously, we're doing IPAs. I popped the cryo hopped Psycho Thrill Seekers double IPA, and then the entire can, as I was saying, it's like a theme park with rides and all. It's just so much going on. I see pandas on the like the spinny things. We got a cryo hopped robot where it looks like you slam to make the thing jump up, a big slide. Obviously, yeah. I mean, it
looks like a Rob Zombie album cover.
Exactly. Thank you. That sums it up to our listeners. And you over there, you got another little trippy guy.
Got the Freak Show Crush, and it's
got Speaking of Rob Zombie,
I mean, if we had time to read all this looks like I mean, the only thing that comes to mind is the Unabomber's Manifesto. There's so much written on here. It would take like DreZ said, it would take all day to like really go through everything, but some of these quotes on here, like, we are the breakers of our own hearts and the jailers of our own personal prisons. Your soul has a pulse, or my personal favorite, be free. Poetry is an absurdity. We are plural, collect unique friends. So may not look so friendly up front, but a lot of it's about individuality. And my favorite thing about this one, though, is their listing of their address. Most places go like 7080 Lee Highway, Radford, Virginia, which is, of course, where we are seated. They've got 107 Dunlop Street, Barrie, Ontario, Canada, Earth, Milky Way, the universe, infinity. So they went all the way down to infinity. Real ready to pinpoint in case the aliens ever reach.
You got to backtrack, and you really try and you try and nail it down that way. So yeah, I've never been to Flying Monkeys. I would love to. I've only been to Canada once. Went to Ottawa, not Ontario, but that's where the first and only time I've actually had a Flying Monkeys beer. And I remember it was amazing. It was actually, I think, a triple IPA, and I gave it a 5. It was just phenomenal. And ever since then, I've kind of, been trying to keep an eye out for them. So these beers actually came from Mansfield when I went up there for incarceration. Obviously, I wanted to see what, craft beer I could maybe find up there. And I'll give them a shout out. The best spot for craft beer that we could find was J&J Food Mart. So basically, it's like your typical convenience store. Like you go in there, there's, chips and all that sort of crap, but then just a ridiculously awesome craft beer selection. I could have spent a lot more time in there and a lot more money in there than I did. My only gripe was that, for the most part, it was all in 4-packs of the same beer. So you couldn't like build your own 6-pack kind of thing, which I love to do. And, when you're talking about $5 a beer, it's a little pricey to buy a 4-pack of them when you don't even know if you really like them.
I'm pretty sure about 3 of these, but that weird experimental beer they've got in there, I don't want that.
Yeah. That said, though, I mean, any of the ones that we looked up, they all had great ratings. And thankfully, the Flying Monkeys, they all were individually priced, and I was able to get 4 different ones and made my own little 4-pack and walk out of there with these that I was pretty happy to bring. And it works out perfect for IPA day because they're all IPAs.
I feel
And in theory, all good.
I feel like that's something I'm seeing a lot more of lately is these smaller mom and pop food markets kind of moving towards bringing that niche market in. And I think it's a fantastic thing. I mean, when I was growing up, it was called the Boston Market. It was in Boston, Virginia, and it wasn't the same as like the Boston Market. I don't know how they got away with
You're
that.
talking about the Boston. You're talking about like, because when you say Boston, I think about the food, like the food chain.
not that, but
it was
the exact
called
same name,
the
Boston Market. And they always had like you went in and it always smelled like the wood floors were probably ready to give out at any moment. But they always had really good craft beer. Like it was the only place in the area where you could go and get like a 6-pack of Bell's. So I love that like places are kind of moving more towards that model because I can go to the Wally World and pick up a 6-pack of Bud Light Lime. But
yeah,
if you want to get people in, I think that's the route to go.
well, and you really need to get even more niche with it because like you're talking about, that's where you had to go to get Bell's. Well, now you can get Bell's a lot, like your average grocery store and stuff. So now the more mom and pop ones like that, they need to bring in the rarer, the stuff that's maybe traveled a little further that you had to, get your hands on or know somebody, or maybe just ordering it straight up from the source.
I mean, yeah, you were in Mansfield, Ohio, and this is a Canadian beer. Like, how random is that?
Yeah. So that being said, some other fun facts when it comes to purchasing alcohol. I don't know if it's just an Ohio thing or a Mansfield thing, but obviously going to a metal show, I had my Pantera flask belt buckle that I wanted to make sure had Crown Royal as an homage to Dimebag Darrell. So I was looking for a liquor store. I'm like, where? Because here in Virginia, you got to have an ABC. You got to go to the ABC store. Some states you can get it just regular, like you said, like a grocery store, Food Lion, Walmart, whatever. So I was asking, I'm like, do y'all have like liquor stores? Like, where would I go for hard liquor? Because the J&J Mart, they have like some stuff, but not like, I think they probably must be able to have up to 20% or something. So they had like the liqueurs, you could get those. And it was always confusing. I'd walk in, I'd see liquor. I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, no, where's like,
I need
Jim
Crown.
Beam, where's regular stuff? So I was told, oh, you mean like at Kroger? And I was like, is Kroger the place to go for? So in the Kroger that I went to, there's like a self-contained inside the Kroger, like it's got its own walls, its own register and stuff. And then that's like where the liquor store was. It's not there's not an aisle in Kroger and you check, like it's a separate thing, but it was in Kroger.
I mean, we need to do away with the state-run stores. That was my favorite thing about our trip to Seattle a few years back was I could just go up to Target, get what I needed. Wine, beer, liquor, they have it all.
Yeah, and the thing is I can never remember which state. Like if you're traveling, anytime I'm in a new state, it's always just like, okay, what is it here? Like I know Maryland, you can get it kind of just wherever. Or no, it's beer, wine, liquor stores. Florida, I think you can get it just at the grocery stores. Like it's just in there.
It's been a while since I've bought
I can't remember. It's so hard.
beer in Pennsylvania, but I do remember it being weird when I was there, like beginning of college. You had to go into like a separate, like it was an actual separated part of the store. And then of course they still have the blue laws where like they wouldn't sell to you before noon. Well, what if I worked all night? Damn it.
Mm-hmm. Well, Virginia was like that for a long time. I mean, remember the ABC stores weren't even open on Sundays. And now I think, what is it, noon to 6? And I'm pretty sure I know you can't buy booze after midnight. And then I think it starts back up. Is it 6 a.m. when you can start buying like beer at the?
I thought 7, but
it might be 7.
Wrong.
Yeah, I can't
it's
remember.
Still like ridiculous. Like, what's the point here?
I don't know. Just to me, it doesn't make any sense. Like it's why? Yeah, what's it? Why? I understand if it's 4 a.m. and somebody's wasted and wanting to buy beer. Is it just to deter that, perhaps? And they know they just can't get it rather than having to tell people no all the time?
But if someone's obviously intoxicated, they can refuse service.
Yeah. But then you have to.
Why?
But I think because I guess if they're intoxicated, they probably won't even have the rationale to think like, oh, I can't get it.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
You're also at that point, though, running into another issue that they drove there to get it. I'm assuming not a lot of people are walking up to the
like I said, I
Gas
guess maybe if
station.
you just know if your whole life you can't buy beer after midnight, then if it's 2 a.m., even if you're drunk, you'll know, or it'll hit you like, I can't buy it anymore.
We're only trusted to be adults so much.
I
Is
don't
what
know.
my biggest takeaway is that we're living in a
I'm sure
nanny state.
I'm sure there's some sort of rhyme or reason for the chaos that we're having to live by. But I tell you one thing, man. I am so glad it is IPA day. I do want to just stare at this can a little bit. Brewed with the here we go. Brewed with the bright, peppery buzz of Indian coriander seed and pithy zestiness of fresh lemon peels. This ride is electrified with the clean intensity of cryo hops, Mosaic Citra, and Idaho 7. Yeah, so it said right on there cryo hopped. I was like, this is where we need Huck back in. I was like, do they do some cryo freeze thing? No, I think that's just actually a type of hops, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a
Who is it who does the cryo stash? I can't remember who does the cryo stash IPA, but that was the first I saw of like cryo hops. And I asked Huck, and he said that could be a gimmick.
Hop Valley.
Yes, Hop Valley. It was their cryo stash. Said it could be a gimmick, could be delicious. And then he's like, I'll try some and get back to you. And he never got back to me. So I don't know. He could still be out there somewhere on that island. But if you need motivational quotes, they've got you covered at Flying Monkeys. I just saw this one. If hops, water, malt, and yeast can become beer, just think what we can become. If I was ever going to put up a sign in my house.
I was going to say, that's not a good question for radio, because then I just started thinking, what can I become? My mind just started to wander. Nah, man, I like everything about Flying Monkey, man. The cans are great. And obviously they even have the beer to back it up. So for my double IPA, which I don't remember if I said 8%, and it says right here, strong beer forte. It does have the nice lemon zest to it. The flavor almost matches the can. It's got a lot going on. It's delicious. It's awesome. It's fantastic. I don't know if it's a 5 though. And in fact, I want to leave room for hopefully the next round is going to be some 5s. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 4.5. No, 4.75. This is good beer. It probably would be a 5 if I didn't know what we're in store for next and want to have it base comparison, because I do think it is going to get better from here.
I'm very excited to continue along this adventure, but I just noticed this is the first can I've been handed in Brews Day Tuesday that has English, Spanish, and French all on one can. So we're getting real diverse.
But it's not everything is in. It's not all.
No,
all translated like that. Like it'll just have a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
So like the warning label has Spanish and English, and then there's the your typical return for refund where applicable. We've also got, I'm not going to speak the French here, but it's definitely French. Consigne la ou la lo la prescrite, which I think is French for return for refund where applicable.
Okay.
I recognize one of those words as being French. And you're learning a little bit about my ability to pronounce foreign languages. It's like John Wayne all over again.
Well, where are we with it, man? You gonna untap it? Which,
This
by
is
the way, that's how we like to rate our beers, the untapped scale. I hit the big 5,000 over the weekend at Floyd Fest, which thanks once again to Emily and them for providing that and getting me that Floyd Festive Ale, which was delicious and awesome to enjoy while catching Hart, Ann Wilson of Hart, whatever.
I mean,
but
she played a lot of Hart.
I even got one for you too. We both
yeah.
had it during that set.
That was a surreal experience there.
DreZ Drinks is my handle. Big Nate Danger.
So I'm gonna have to give 2 separate ratings here: one for the beer, one for the label. The
labels are 5s without question.
Yeah, I mean, no, this is a definite 5. This resembles, of course, to those of you out there who still collect vinyl or purchase CDs, you remember they always came with these inserts that had album artwork. And this looks like page 11 of White Zombie's Astro Creep 2000 album. And that's one that's always lived with me. And I love the visual. Huge fan of it. I think they did a great job here with the label. The beer, not far behind. It's a 6.3% ABV. I mean, they call it right on the front, strong beer, and then they've got the French for strong beer.
Yeah, so I got it on mine too. Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 4.25.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's not a lot of crazy flavors in here, not a lot of citrus as kind of like yours had, but for an IPA, man, it's very, very drinkable. So 4.25, that's what we're gonna go with.
Now, and I shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna amend my score because I almost gave it a 4.5. And now that you said 4.25, to me, it makes more sense to make mine a 4.5. And then maybe we'll see where we're going with this, which, by the way, we're just going to keep stepping up in that direction. You do the math, but yeah, we got some big beers coming up. It is, we're celebrating National IPA Day a day early here on Brews Day Tuesday with Flying Monkeys, delicious IPAs that they have that I was able to get my hands on while I was up in Ohio. We'll take a quick break. We'll play a tune. We'll come back and we'll drink more big IPAs right here on 105.3 The Bear. Stick around.